test is cardiac profile. So cardiac profile means it is a group of tests regularly doing in the laboratory to identify the normal functioning of heart. So here cardiac means related to the heart. Okay. So these are the group of tests we are regularly doing or in the cardiac profile doing to identify the normal functioning of test or to identify the diseases like acute myocardial infarction or maybe during the follow up during the treatment. Okay. So this is the syllabus. In today's class we will discuss about the in brief hypertension, what is the angina, myocardial infarction and pattern of cardiac enzymes in heart diseases. In the next class we will discuss about the different methods of cholesterol estimation and their principal advantages and disadvantages of different methods and lipid profile. Okay. So before discussing the cardiac profile, we will discuss about the 2 points about heart. So what is the function? Main function of heart is it pumps the blood. So pumping the blood is the main function of heart. So it containing 2 atrials and 2 ventricles. Okay. So what is the function of heart is? So receive oxygen rich blood from the lungs and pumps to the all parts of the body. Okay. So this will receive the oxygen blood from the lungs and it will pumps to the arch of aorta and descending aorta and it will supply to the all parts of the body. So the blood containing oxygen and nutrients during heat, so these will supply to the every part and the every cell in the body. So these are required in order to survive. Then also after that utilization of oxygen, carbon dioxide is released from the cells and other non-metabolites, any other waste substances also will be present oozing to the blood. Then this will receive oxygen, less oxygen and carbon dioxide rich blood is received from the other parts of the body to the heart. Then it will pump to the lungs where the carbon dioxide is exhaled and oxygen is received into the blood. Then the cycle is continuous. So next one, so hypertension. So in usually we will call as in general high BP. So high blood pressure, but in medical term we should call as hypertension. Okay. So what is the definition of hypertension? So hypertension defined as the persistent high blood pressure than the normal value. So what is the normal value? Blood pressure is 120 by 80 mm of Hg. So 120 is the systolic blood pressure, means when the ventricles contract it will pump the blood into the other parts and into the, so that is the 120. Whereas 80 is the diastolic blood pressure, means when the ventricles are dilated it will receive the blood. So with the 80 mm of Hg the blood is drawn into the heart. So that is the normal blood pressure, 120 by 80 millimeter of mercury mm of Hg. So the definition is, so hypertension defined as persistent high blood pressure than the normal value. Persistent means always present. Okay, always present. not at a single or double times or any occasionally. So persistent means always more than 120/80. So when systolic blood pressure is more than 150 mm of Hg and diastolic blood pressure is more than 90 millimeter of mercury. So what are the manifestations of hypertension? So hypertension which leads to the or which damage the other organs like kidneys, that leads to the renal failure, and also left ventricular failure. So left ventricular failure means next, and myocardial infarction and cerebral hemorrhage, and also retinal hemorrhage. Retinal means there is increased blood supply or high with a high blood pressure that leads to the damage to the eye. That is a retinal hemorrhage. The hemorrhage means the bleeding occurs in the retina of the eye. And the cerebral means in the brain. And the myocardial infarction mainly due to the decreased blood supply to the heart, and that leads to angina pectoris or chest pain. And left ventricular means in the heart only, in the left ventricle. Come to the angina. So what do you mean by angina? Means angina in the normal term is called as chest discomfort. We will feel pain in the heart area, the chest area. So this angina, chest discomfort, mainly due to the heart attack. Okay, due to the myocardial infarction. But maybe other causes also there. It may be not due to the heart failure or any heart attack. Other causes like severe hypertension and also severe anemia and also severe exercise and any mental stress like heartbroken syndrome. In that conditions also there will be a chest pain may be seen. So normal and regular cause of chest pain is due to the myocardial infarction. So that is as it is called as angina pectoris. So angina pectoris means there is a pain in the pectoralis muscle, means near here the chest area. So pain start beneath the sternum and radius to the surface of left arm and left shoulder. Here you can see in the feel the chest pain from the here the sternum is there, it will radiate to the left shoulder and left hand, it will radiate. If these signs is there means basically the chest pain. So this angina pectoris mainly due to the coronary artery disease, CAD, coronary artery disease, mainly atherosclerosis. Okay. So what do you mean by atherosclerosis? We will discuss in the next slide. So mainly coronary artery disease causes myocardial ischemia. So means atherosclerosis means hardening and narrowing of arteries that leads to the decreased blood supply, that is myocardial ischemia. Means myocardial ischemia means decreased blood supply to the cardiac muscle. So if the blood supply decreased means there is no oxygen and nutrients supplied to the that myocardium, means cardiac muscle, that leads to the hypoxia. Hypoxia means inadequate supply of oxygen to the that muscle, and accumulation of anaerobic metabolites because of no oxygen, that leads to the accumulation of anaerobic cycle metabolites, and pain like lactate and pain substances that leads to the chest pain. Here you can see this is the picture of heart is supplied by the coronary arteries, left and right coronary arteries. So major arteries which are damaged due to the atherosclerosis are here in the coronary artery. Here you can see there is a plaque formation with the lipids that leads to the closing of that artery, that leads to blockage of that artery and supply of oxygen nutrient to the, that is decreased supply oxygen and nutrients to the artery, that leads to the ischemia, atherosclerosis to the ischemia and chest pain finally. See, you can see the infarction, muscles are infarcted, means there is a death of the cardiac muscle that leads to the release of pain substances and troponins into the circulation, and there is a chest pain. So come to the myocardial infarction. So myocardial infarction means, so due to the atherosclerosis, stoppage of blood flow to the cardiac tissue, which is resulting in the death of that cardiac muscle, that leads to the chest pain. Okay. So what do you mean by atherosclerosis means? So athero means there is a mushy formation. Okay, athero means mush formation. It is derived from the Greek word athire, means atherosclerosis means there is a formation of fibrous. Sclerosis means there is a fibrous formation with a collagen and fibrous tissues and other proteins. So atherosclerosis is characterized by the thickening or hardening and narrowing of arteries. So why it is occurred means, it is occurred due to the accumulation of lipids, mainly the cholesterol and free and esterified lipids, like bad cholesterol like LDL, oxidized LDL, low density lipoprotein cholesterol. So they are usually called as LDL, that is the oxidized LDL accumulation, and also accumulation of collagen and fibrous tissue, proteoglycans, platelets and calcium deposits. So these are accumulation in the inner arterial wall of arteries, mainly here coronary arteries. So coronary arteries means, so these arteries which supply the blood to the heart. So this is atherosclerosis is a progressive disorder that narrows and ultimately block the arteries. Okay, here you can see. So this one is normal coronary artery. So there is no blockage. So that's why there is a continuous supply of blood through the artery to the heart and supply of nutrients and oxygen. Where you can see here there is a, whereas increased cholesterol and LDL cholesterol in the blood, that leads to the oxidation of LDL, okay, low density lipoprotein. If the LDL is more than, it will be oxidized, and alteration of this smooth muscle, the inner wall or endothelium of artery, usually called as tunica intima of artery. So this will damage, and that leads to the damage of endothelium and smooth muscle cells, that leads to the entry of leukocytes, mainly the monocytes will enter, and it will be transferred to the macrophages. So these macrophages will engulf the LDL, oxidized LDL and fat and cholesterol, that leads to the transformed into the foam cells. So these will attract the platelets and lipids, calcium, so that leads to the like mush formation. Okay, so this increased along with the fibrous cap. Okay, there is a fibrous tissue that leads to the ultimately block the artery. If the artery is blocked, means there is no blood supply to the muscle tissue, muscle or tissue of that particular organ or the particular here in case of heart. If it is a coronary artery, there is no blood supply because of this clot or mesh formation that leads to the blockage of artery and there is decreased or absence of supply of oxygen and other nutrients that leads to the damage of that muscle that leads to death of that muscle which is supplied by this artery. So here and so coronary arteries are the major arteries which is supplying the heart. So coronary arteries are the arteries which supplying the blood to the heart are the most commonly affected, which leading to the myocardial infarction and heart attacks. Here you can see there is a cross section. So there is a progress of atherosclerosis. Here is the inner lumen of coronary arteries or arteries. This is the smooth muscles and external. So there is a plaque formation with lipids, cholesterol, foam cells and platelets which leads to damage of epithelium. So epithelium means near the inner wall of the arteries that leads to the attraction of platelets and fibrin and will deposit within that the mesh formation that leads to the clot formation. So then it will be progressively formation of mesh here moderate and particularly here complete cessation occluding the lumen of arteries. That is here there is a complete thrombus completely occluding the lumen. So there is no blood supply and there is no oxygen and nutrition supply to the arteries. That leads to the death of that muscle. So there are factors which causing the cardiac diseases, coronary artery disease, CAD or cardiac diseases. So these factors may be modified risk factors or may be non-modifiable risk factors. So the modifiable risk factors are like diabetes. So any persons with diabetes and obesity, and if the person is taking more diet, high content of saturated fats and cholesterol, that leads to hyperlipidemia and hypertension and smoking, and the person will feel more stress and heavy physical activity also leads to the cardiac diseases. Okay. So these are the risk factors. So these risk factors can be modified by modification of our lifestyle. So there are other risk factors like non-modifiable risk factors of cardiac disease are like family history of coronary artery disease. Like in your family, anybody having cardiac diseases, there may be chances to affected by younger generations. So like and also age. So after middle age, increased incidence of atherosclerosis occur, like more than 40-50 years. So increased risk of atherosclerosis. So that's why after that age we have to do the moderate exercises and also increase good lifestyle we have to follow. And also like sex means here women have higher HDL cholesterol and are less prone to the cardiac diseases compared to the men. So because of HDL, that is a good cholesterol which is more in the women than the men. That's why men are more prone to the cardiac diseases. So heart attacks are more in men than the women. So how can we prevent the atherosclerosis or cardiac diseases? So moderation in the dietary fat and cholesterol. We have to increase the consumption of good cholesterol and decrease the bad cholesterol, like LDL. Decrease the consumption of LDL cholesterol and increasing the taking of vegetables oils which contain the polyunsaturated fatty acids and also omega 3 fatty acids, and taking more green leafy vegetables, and also avoid sucrose, means here mainly the table sugar. So increased consumption of table sugar also leads to the atherosclerosis. And other bad habits like avoid cigarettes and excessive alcohol drinking, and also that leads to the increased risk of atherosclerosis. And also we have to do the moderate or do exercise regularly. So regularly moderate exercise will lowers the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and increase the good cholesterol HDL levels in the blood, and that leads to the it also reduce the obesity. If it is non-controllable, we will use the hypolipidemic drugs. So now we will discuss about the biomarker. So what is the definition of biomarker? A biomarker is a substance that can be used as an indicator of particular disease. Here cardiac biomarkers or cardiac profile markers or cardiac tests all are same. So means biomarker means specifically which is specific for that particular organ only. So means if the disease come, the level of that biomarker increase within the blood. So cardiac profile. So what do you mean by cardiac profile? Cardiac profile is a group of specific tests to know the normal functioning of heart, and are these tests to diagnose the disease or follow up the that particular disease during the treatment. So when we do this cardiac profile means to diagnose acute myocardial infarction like in chest pain, angina pectoris, and to differentiate the